Okay, if you need help on it, I'll go over this section to you, just locking and dimming this down so you can see through it pretty easily, doing a layer above it. If you need it to be any less, you can go all the way down 10% there. So again, it's using the shape tool to start off with, and try to do the easiest ones first, just selecting this, resetting this to the default pattern so you can see through it. And it doesn't really matter if you line them up yet, you can always do that after, just kind of segmenting this piece in. This part just kind of using this shape, a little bit of the elliptical tool. Round that off a little bit. And here it's just using the reflect tool to find the center of this piece. And you can put ruler guides in there to help you, give you a segment to it. Segment here so you can see the center of it. Put a ruler guide right down the middle. Redo this ellipse shape here. And take the reflect tool, copy it over. So you can just select these items, give it a color so you can see the overlap of this part, and then with the Pathfinder, just eliminating that section. And then taking a look at this top piece. These can just be line segments. The line segment tool right here. And here's the stroke panel. Create one of them. Easy way to place it across the center. It's just Option and copy it across. Let's see. Building a square. One point. Find the anchor point, shift key that down. Build that up too. Just lining that up. Making that the shape. Taking this and just duplicating it. Rotate it around. Okay, and once you get it, you can just use the selection key, eyedrop tool, and just flip the colors over very easily. Shift key and stroke. Do it like so. So it's pretty easy once you get the hang of the illustration there. Color that. once you have it, then you can go back. A couple pieces have a stroke segmented onto it, and you can rearrange them all too. Group all that together. Okay. Now, if you have this kind of shaker finished, when you take a look at it, make sure I'm just going to duplicate a copy with the Option and Shift over, set it off to its side. And the idea is that it's making what they call a compound path, and down below, it has it down below here where you can make this into a section. When you see it, when you do it from that keystroke, it blends it all together, but when you use the shape in the Pathfinder, it'll unite the sections together into one piece. So I just duplicate it so you could see the opposite side. When you do bring it together, it brings that section together. The only thing I'm going to change is the path, because I used a path for this piece, and just go to Object, Path, and outline the stroke. So now when this is all highlighted, this becomes one shape. Okay, but before I do that, I'm just going to duplicate it again so you can see two variations of this theme that they have, and what would be the best way for you to do some of your illustration. So this has the stroke into a path. This is the one, just using the unite is going to blend it all together. Okay, and again, one more copy here. So here's the unite part. If you select it, double click on it to get it in the isolation mode, it's just one piece together. If you hold the Option key right here, it'll unite them, but when you lay the mouse over the top of it, you'll see the shapes are still editable, and if you take the direct selection tool, you can select them and you can manipulate this piece. So when you take a look at it, they're separate items, and it still treats it as one unified piece. If you take the selection tool and double click on this, it'll take you into the isolation mode, and up at the top you'll see that it's a compound shape, and it can be moved and manipulated once it's in the isolation mode. It's almost like an editing segment specifically for that. So you can take the direct selection tool and start to manipulate the colors, or at least move the shapes around from that part. If you have the shape selected again when you're out of the isolation mode, this one, you can go to Object, and when you see Compound Path, you see it's connected. You can't remove it, but in the Pathfinder, you can hit the expand, and it'll break it back a piece there. So you have those particular segments for it. And the same with the section that has the Pathfinder command on the other items using exclude. So I'll move this one down a little bit, make a copy of this one. And we talked a little bit about it before, but when you take a look at this part, minusing the top from the front, it's going to be the front to the back piece. So when you take a look at how it's manipulating it, that's the shapes are still there, because I held the Option key to make it into that path. And the same with the intersecting parts. So if you could, take the two sections of this piece, in other words, you'll have the original part for your drawing, set it up here, and take a copy of it. So I just repeat that up here, Option and duplicate it, and you can hit the Unite with the Option key so that you can then see how that's done as it's manipulated into the parts.